We're live.
Good morning, everyone. It's 6 o'clock in the morning, the 12th of February, 2026. We are happy that you're here. Put in the chat where you're watching from. Let us know how you're doing, where you're coming from, and hashtag KMT for a chance to win
KMT t-shirt.
A t-shirt, okay? And in a moment, we're going to be talking to Kristina. If you have any questions, please put them in the chat. QQQ. Like, subscribe, comment, share the link. How are you doing this morning, Kristina?
I'm doing good. I usually don't wake up this early. It's crazy how you guys do these lives every morning. It motivates me because I'm like, I need to get up at 5:30 every morning, and just a good time to wake up. Like,
sounds like every one of my kids. I got 3 kids older than you.
Yeah.
Good morning, Dr. Kiltz. How are you doing?
I am fantastic. Good morning, everyone. I've been up since 3 o'clock. Yeah, that's my usual. So it's a beautiful day. I'm good. I've been doing a lot of work since I got to the office actually at 4.
Oh my gosh.
But Kristina, when you get to 70, you begin to recognize the time between now and becoming fertilizer is short, and so you want.
We have some kind of sound feedback from one of you.
Sorry about that. You want to get as much done as you can before. That's my 2 cents, but I'm good.
I agree.
Do you have any announcements, Alia, by any chance?
Let's see. I was just saying that we're gonna do an Albany meetup May 23rd. And then Albany.
Oh yeah.
And then we're gonna do a there's another meetup. Maybe we do the Boston meetup. I don't know, but we're doing a Chicago meetup July 25th.
I think Albany, A-L. There's only one L in Albany. There's not 2 L's. It's not all, but it's Albany. But you're right. You pronounce it Albany. Where in Long Island are you?
I'm Suffolk County.
Beautiful. Have you been up? I'm in Syracuse, Skaneateles, upstate New York. Been here for 31 years now.
Oh my gosh. I love upstate New York. You're there full time, right?
Well, I'm between here and Florida, and sometimes I go to LA. So I'm a traveler, but I love it up here. Someone said, "Oh, you're rarely here." I'm here most of the time, but I go back and forth. I spent a month in Florida last month, but it's a lot of snow here right now. I live on Skaneateles Lake. It's frozen. Where I'm 5 miles down the lake, it's frozen for the first time at my level in 10 years ish. But it's beautiful.
Oh wow,
it's beautiful.
Wow. Yeah,
winter is a beautiful time for hibernation.
Yes.
Yeah.
And slowing down, right? It goes slow it down.
Yeah. All right. Remember at 3 p.m. we have a live stream. Don't forget to tune in. Kristina, go ahead and introduce yourself. Tell us who you are. Tell us about the moniker Miss Meat. And tell us your carnivore story. You've been carnivore for a couple of years and have found some healing.
Yes. Well, thank you for having me here. My name's Kristina. I go as Miss Meat on all of my platforms, but I have been on the carnivore diet for over 2 years, and I'm 24 years old. And the reason I started this journey was just to find healing, because I struggled from a very young age with gut issues, cystic acne, hormonal issues, and I found this way, and I'm so grateful I did, and now this is what I live and breathe every single day. So I just started sharing my story online, and I found a lot of other people and connected with them, and it's been amazing.
Very good. So what was going on with the skin? Tell us, you mentioned cystic acne?
Yeah, I had really bad hormonal, like cystic acne, like all over my face. And I went on so many like medications for it, topical creams, because that's all I knew as like a child. And, you know, like my family didn't know better. And I went on, what's the Accutane? That was terrible. It was the worst experience of my life, and I never wish I went on it. But I went on it, and I had to go off of it because it caused all these crazy side effects. And my acne just came back 10 times worse after going on it. So, yeah, over time, it has gotten significantly better. Obviously, it took the longest to heal, but I used to have really bad acne, which I definitely post on social media. It was not cute.
Did the doctor ever ask you, the dermatologist, what do you eat? Or
No, never.
mention how diet could change your acne?
No, never. Which is very frustrating because, you know, it's something that's huge, but no doctors have ever asked me. Even same with like my gut problems, because I had like IBS, acid reflux. I had to have like endoscopies because I always had these terrible like gut problems, and they never asked like what was your diet. Even when I went to like gut doctors, I forget exactly what they're called, but they never asked like what do you eat, what like how do you live, do you work out? None of those questions.
All right. What's your message to those who are curious about eating this way? Younger people who may have similar skin issues. IBS, we call IBS when we don't have any other explanations for the gut symptoms. And, you know, it's a general term, irritable bowel syndrome. But it's fairly common. A lot of people have a whole lot of symptoms or just some symptoms that end up being called IBS.
Yeah, they just put it in a generic thing.
What's your message for people with similar issues?
I think just going back to diet, I think is the biggest thing, is to heal with diet, and then like slowly your skin issues will improve. I think diet plays such a big factor in like hormonal issues, just like how you feel, gut problems, and like what you eat really is going to project how your skin is going to look. So if you have like a bunch of carbs and processed junk, and sugar, your skin is going to be bumpy and, you know, have all the hormonal problems.
Take us through a day of eating.
Of eating? Yes. So I typically, I would love to hear Dr. Kiltz's thoughts on this, but I fast pretty often just because in order for me to get work done, I don't like to eat in the morning just because I feel more productive when I'm fasted. So I usually fast till like 1 o'clock in the afternoon, and I will eat either a steak or some ground beef or some eggs recently. So like for the past couple years, or not couple years, for like the past year, I had to do lion diet, which as you guys know is beef, salt, water, or like ruminant animals, salt and water. So I was eating like pretty much the same thing every single day, but now I do a lot more variety. So I'm able to include like chicken, sometimes dairy, I have eggs, which is huge. You know, it's nice to be able to have a little bit more variety. But yeah.
And so how many times a day total you eat?
Usually like 1 to 2. And those
Okay.
are like typical big meals. Like I don't snack as often, which is good.
Dr. Kiltz, you had a question?
Oh, I'm sorry. I had to step out. I have surgery to go to this morning, so I had to just do a little preparation. And so what is your sense of why you were sick on a plant-based or standard diet and you're healthier now?
What is my why? Like, why do I do that?
Not the why. Well, why does it work? What's your sense of why it works? I mean, is it a simple answer, do you think? Or do you think it's complicated?
I think it's more simple. I just think what you put into your body like really reflects like how you're gonna feel, what your skin's gonna look like. Like I said, IBS, all those symptoms, hormonal issues. So I think it's a lot simpler than people think that it is. So that's the reason I do it, is just to feel the best. Obviously, I wish I could include a lot more variety sometimes on my diet, but I just think it's necessary for me to feel this way.
What variety? Well, do you think variety is the nature of most animal eaters, or do they really have a very narrow, specific diet?
No, like when we look at like all the other animals, they literally only have one thing that they're eating every single day. You know, like cows eat grass, you know, lions eat raw meat, like things like that. They're eating one specific thing. And it's crazy how we're the only species or the only like people that actually eat variety and have so many different things that we need to eat.
So is there something pathologic with our bodies, or is the pathology the story we've been told and the food pyramid, and you should eat variety, and the story is really the killer?
Yeah, I agree with that.
Is insulin pathologic and is fat pathologic? Or is that actually why we exist and it's actually biologic?
It's probably more biologic, yeah.
And so do you think we, even in the carnivore world, have a little bit of anti-obesity and fat prejudice?
A little bit, yeah.
Yeah. So does obesity cause disease?
That's a good question. I mean, I think if someone is overweight and stuff, they're obviously not healthy in a sense. Is that what you mean? Like,
Well, but is obesity, again, our focus on obesity and getting skinny. How many carnivores are on GLP-1s?
I'm not sure. Do you know of any?
I don't know that answer, but I've heard some.
Oh, really?
Because our quest to be skinny is our master message. I mean, isn't that even in the carnivore space, Dr. Nelson? What are your thoughts? And anyone here that's listening, I appreciate everyone here. And I certainly appreciate Kristina, because she's had a mighty message for all of us. And I know it's sort of like for the young, but I'm 70 and I feel about 10. And this way of living is like masterful. But I don't know, other people have any comments? Like, we're all trying to be skinny, but is that really what animal tries to be skinny?
That's true. I don't think animals try to be skinny. I think they just want to be optimal at the end of the thing. Like women want to be fertile. Women want to feel,
Well, is skinny pro-fertile
Not necessarily. I don't think so. I don't think when I think of skinny, I just think, or I think of like more optimal, because I don't think you need to be skin and bones in order to, and you can't be skin and bones to have good fertility and good hormones. I think you need to have fat on your body, because that's how you're going to be fertile.
Definitely, when you're skin and bones, most women are not fertile.
Exactly. Or
and most obese women are fertile.
Yeah, that is true.
And the low fat diet. I mean, do you think the low fat protein centric diet is a healthy diet?
That is a good question. I think I'm not really big into the whole like science behind it, like fat to protein, because obviously I'm not a doctor. I don't know the exact, and I feel like you have more of a better gauge with that. But I do think you need fat and protein in order to have, good health. Like you need both of those macronutrients.
So in a carnivore world, eating fat seems to be most important as a macromolecule.
Of course, yeah.
How are the people in your community approaching finding this and living this lifestyle? Do you think we're attracting more people in your age group to this master mission?
I think so. I think there's a lot of people who are more curious, who like have cystic acne, who have the same problems. So it's obviously a lot harder because they just say like, oh, you're young, like wait till 20 years and then we'll see what happens to you when you're eating all of this meat. So, but I do see a lot of people who are willing to switch their lifestyle. I think especially like the primal community is like super huge. I don't know if you're familiar with that. Like a lot of people online, like more younger people, I see a lot go like primal, as they would say. So it's, mostly just like a ton of meat and they have a little variety.
What does your family think about this?
Oh, what do they think of my diet? At first they were very skeptical and they were very like, you're going to eat all meat. But I've always been like into health, like I would say for the past couple years. Like I did the animal-based diet, which is, Dr. Paul Saladino, he like coined that, I would say. So I was eating pretty much like meat and fruit. I didn't have much variety with that. So then once when I went full carnivore, like they were just like, oh, you need fruits and veggies. But over time, like my family just like stopped putting their 2 cents in, because I'm going to do what I want regardless of what they say. How
about your friends?
They either think it's cool, or I'm just not friends with them because they think I'm weird or something. But most people don't have a problem with it.
Oh, you want to read that?
Yeah, I think carnivores that take GLP-1s are trying to cure something bigger than obesity. They have already lost the weight, but are still struggling with other issues and need to try more.
I think they're struggling with the same thing because people focus on being skinnier, and ultimately they still think fat is the cause of disease. And when in fact, fat is the solution, and obesity in our majority of our evolution was actually a bonus. But I do hear and see others that take it, and because our message is you need to look this certain way in order to be healthy, otherwise you're not. But I would say they're trying to work on their mind. Their mind is all of our minds, by the way. I'm not labeling anyone, even me. Our minds are the mess because we're no matter what the environment is, the brain says be like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense. I do think majority of like the diet should, like, obviously when you're on the carnivore diet, this is like a fat, majority of your diet has to be fat. So like I think the lowest that carnivore should go is like a 60-40 fat to protein ratio. I'm not sure if you're like, if you really tell people like what fat to protein ratio that they should have, but I think like 60-40 should be the absolute lowest. But obviously, some people don't care about the ratios. Yeah.
Well, I don't know what protein is.
No.
Because when we use the word protein, what you mean is lean meat.
Yeah.
When you use the word carbs, you're talking about plants. When we say the word fat, we're talking about the white stuff. And so I just eat fatty meat raw with salt and butter and sometimes black and blue. But the macronutrients are complicated stories that no other organism that lives its natural diet nudges its neighbor. Is that good for you? Or is that the right ratios? Or, you're looking a little fat or too skinny, right?
Yeah.
We know that skinny is deadly.
Yeah.
But we've labeled obesity, and the more we try to be skinny, the fatter we get. That seems, even in the carnivore world, and then people say, well, I'm getting fat, I must be doing it wrong. But maybe you're doing it right, because in a stressful environment where epinephrine and cortisol are on the rise, it says eat, get fat, store energy, because you're at risk of famine.
Mm-hmm.
To be skinny, I never thought looking at my health being good in that position, wanting to, it's like, oh, I want to be skinny. But is there likely a famine, war, pestilence, disease, or like nobody's going to deliver your food next month?
Yeah.
I mean, how many of us hunt and gather and process our food in a world of easy access to all lands of the world?
Right.
There is none. You'll be shot. There are fences and controls that will prevent you from going out in nature and hunting, gathering your food in the wild. And if you haven't read the book Into the Wild, it wasn't a good one for the guy who did it.
Oh, no.
Interesting.
Let's take a couple of questions, Alia.
Sure. Kristina, do you see the difference with your past symptoms returning if you do or don't drink coffee or eat dairy? After 2 years, do you treat yourself sometimes?
Yeah, that's a good question. So I don't drink coffee. I do it on occasion. I'll do it as like if I have to stay up really late or something like that. I used to drink like 3 cups of coffee before carnivore. I would drink like 3 cups of coffee a day, but I just found I no longer need it anymore. I just feel my best without it. I don't think having coffee every day is necessarily the worst thing, but I feel like it's not good to be ingesting those plant toxins every single day. So I don't do that. I know some people like can't give it up. Sometimes people can't give up coffee. I don't know if you guys see that a lot. They just like can't give it up. But I feel like it's like crucial sometimes in order to have like really deep healing. And then do I eat dairy? If I do eat dairy, it's raw. And yeah, that's the best dairy that I consume is raw dairy. And then after 2 years, do you treat yourself sometimes? I don't, because once when I go down that rabbit hole, it is very deep. On occasion, I'll have like something that I like made, like a carnivore treat or something like that. But that's the most I'll go off my diet.
Life is dangerous. Go ahead, Alia.
Okay, good. Sorry, I thought you were saying,
Go ahead.
something else. Kristina, do you experience less bloating just by searing your meat slightly and eating it mostly raw compared to frying?
Yes. So when I first started the diet, I was doing like fully cooked carnivore, like medium steaks. You know, I grew up eating like well done steaks for my mom because she thought like pink was like, you can't have any pink in steaks, which is terrible. And it would have so much like sauce on it and stuff in order for it to have like any taste at all. But over time, like when I went carnivore, I would eat my steaks medium, then medium rare, and then eventually I do my steaks like Dr. Kiltz said. I eat majority of my steaks are raw nowadays, and if anything, I eat them black and blue on the inside just because I prefer it that way, and I find it's a lot easier to digest.
Great. 911 Fit. You get more of what you focus on. This weekend was living proof as I focused on being healthy and being a loving person. This weekend in Tampa, I met nothing but kind, loving people. Aw.
That's amazing.
I am healthy. I am healthy. I am wealthy. I am wise. Those are the simple thoughts of every day.
Yep.
And we lead with our mindset. Do you have any particular books you're inspired by?
No, but I definitely need some more books to read if you have any recommendations. I know you have a book, which I would love to.
He's got hundreds of recommendations.
Oh, really? Advance. So what?
This is by Dr. Rimka, a great book. But if you go to the back of my Kiltz Keto Carnivore, there's a list of many of the books. If you go to our website, there's a list of books. This morning, I've been reading a book written by my friend Jim Slotnick, who died at 28 of glioblastoma. He wrote this book over 3 years and then died the day after he completed the book. He was in medical school at UCLA. I knew him from the Los Angeles Free Clinic where I worked with him back in the 80s. And really, you get it on Amazon, A Grand Story, A Short Life by Jim Slotnick. I highly recommend it.
Yeah, no, that's great.
And I'm always looking for books also to listen to read. You
said? What was the first one that you said? I'm right.
Receive the Dance of Feminine Power by Dr. Rimka. She's amazing. And we'll have her on again. We've had her on before. Dealing with doctors. This is I'd always entertained the vague notion that I would enjoy perpetual health. I think I read that yesterday, that same one. But medical school is a factory. This was his writings. Like any other factory, its purpose is to turn out finished products. In this case, the product is a doctor, a clean, refinished, high-gloss guy or gal ready to get out in the world, heal the sick, and raise the dead. For me, though, life was too short to spend it on those damn lecture halls. It's a good book.
Yeah, that sounds good.
Kristina, in your search to get better from the problems you were having, did you, at any point in your life, have you been vegan, vegetarian?
I was I tried the vegan or vegetarian diet. I think I did both. I forget the difference. What's the difference between vegan and vegetarian? I totally forgot. Is one where
vegan is actually a much newer term, only 20, 30 years old, basically. But a vegetarian is a plant-based diet, avoiding any animal products. But nowadays, if you have eggs, which come from a chicken, or if you have milk that come from a cow, or if you have fish, some people still consider themselves vegetarians, but and vegan is avoiding any animal products at all.
Gotcha. Yeah, so I did that for a little bit. I avoided all animal products for like a couple months, but my acne actually got worse. That's like when I first started my healing journey, because, you know, when you go Google online, it was like, how do you heal cystic acne and stuff, or how do you heal like hormonal acne? And the vegan diet always seemed to pop up. So I did try that for a little bit, but my acne actually did get worse and I just like didn't feel good. So that's when I went down a whole other rabbit hole of like animal foods and stuff like that. So I didn't do it for long. I only did it for a couple months, you know. But majority of my diet before that was considered plant-based because, you know, you're eating a little bit of meat and the majority of your, you know, in the grocery store is all plant-based food. So consider my diet before that like a plant-based diet.
Dr. Kiltz, we have to eat the colors of the rainbow.
Well, we actually do, because if you take a prism to light, you will see the colors of the rainbow in the sunlight. And so ultimately, when you eat the meat, it has all the colors of the sunlight because it's captured sunlight. And if you eat that, you will see the vibrant colors of the world. But when you eat a plant, which also is captured, but it's mostly glucose, and ultimately it's going to mess up the messenger, which is the mindset, and you're going to be controlled by marijuana, heroin, cocaine, and the alcohol fermenting from the fermenters in your gut.
Alia, this question about ulcerative colitis.
Can I take a stab at it?
Go ahead
and stab at answering this one.
Read it first, please.
Okay, so 2 columns. Should raw beef be introduced slowly to reduce risk? I have ulcerative colitis, and in my mind, it seems like bacteria might more easily permeate my stomach lining, leading to food poisoning. I'm going to say that raw meat has more glutathione in it, which is going to repair and heal your gut more than goat's meat. But Dr. Kiltz, that's my stab. What's your
fat suppresses the microbes, not proteins. Glutathione is just another guillotine of a science story, which is all bullshit. Adipocytes contain every fatty acid, every amino acid, and every glycan, the 9 sugars of the glycobiome, and the fat suppresses the microbes. That suppresses the inflammation, which causes colitis, which basically, if you eat raw fat like Kristina does, and I do, you actually keep the microbes at bay. The ice agents aren't let out of their cage. You let out the nice agents. But again, the science, science is the method. It's a beautiful tool. It's a flashlight in the dark, which is controlled by the system, the industry, which is a fence, and it's designed to keep the sheep inside the pasture, which is the standard of care. This is actually biblical stories we're sharing because, as Kristina says, I'm not a doctor, but it seems to me, and that's what Jim Slotnick said, the doctors are kind of, we're just factory implemented organisms to go out and control the story of science, thinking that, well, I know metabolic processes because I know the glycogen is so important. Sugar is my energy, and then you switch to fat. BS. Not the story.
Yeah.
That's true.
Yeah.
Okay.
Go ahead, Alia.
These are impressive. IWG, please put that. I don't know what that means. Okay. Dr. Kiltz, did you hear correctly? You eat raw meat. Also, did I hear from others they eat raw fat trimmings? I was looking into carnivore, lost 50 pounds on low carb with carnivore lean since 2025.
Well, look at, I want to lose weight. I want to be skinny. Great. Go at it. Be whatever you want. And it is true that Craig Emmerich's idea of protein-sparing modified fasting, which is just a low-fat diet, is okay to lose the weight. But if you stay that way, again, you might maintain whatever you are, but lean meat is sugar and protein and low fat, which are damaging to the liver, which then causes the damage to every cell of your body because they're glycating. They rust the cells of your neurovascular system, and it damages the glycocalyx. So yes, raw fatty meat, I eat the raw fat. And that is the healthiest thing to eat. The Podgers cats, but no other animal cooks their food. None. And so, again, great. Well, what if you just didn't eat for a month? Would you lose the fat? And you'd build the muscle, because muscles are built from adipocytes. So again, if you don't have a functional liver or insulin, you cannot make fat, and you wither away and die no matter how much amino acids and sugars you eat. Protein is not the magic, it is the poison.
What is that question, Alia?
Pretty pause 5047. Do you teach this about fat in your course? Yes. Yes. Kiltz's Keto is Carnivore book is on the course.
How do they get the course?
You get the course by becoming a member of the Kiltz Mighty Tribe, which is free, and then you pay for the course through the platform, and then you do the course. 12 modules, 6 on coaching, 6 on human nutrition. There you go. Here's Pottinger's cats. Chuck, yes, I agree. Raw fat best. What about tallow rendered then chilled? Is that no good?
Kristina, what do you think? What's your thoughts? Again, we're having a storytelling right now. That's all.
Yeah. I think raw fat is definitely the best. I don't think the tallow is necessarily the worst. I use that to sear my steaks, but I do not eat the tallow by itself. I think if that's all you have access to, great. But if you're eating like a piece of meat, eat the fat off the meat instead of, just eating the tallow. If that was the question, like if you need the tallow.
I cook in a pan to put the steak under the broiler because I want to get back to the fire way of eating meat. But it's black and blue, raw to rare. A thick steak with a little bit of a sear, you can do it in the lard, tallow, ghee. But ultimately, I mean, ancient man did not have a bucket of tallow or lard they carried around. The rendered fat basically melted off the steak and into the fire, built the flame, and they said, yeah. And remember, fire is the release of sunlight.
Oh.
And that's the best way to cook it.
Yeah.
We got a couple more. This is Mona Marchand Peoples. What do you do for asthma? It came out of nowhere. DoctorNelson.
There's so many questions to ask, but
let's just what causes asthma?
A reaction of your body to something, usually
inflammatory particles that inflame the upper and lower respiratory tract, and the body says get out, and it closes it down. But it doesn't want you to die, but ultimately what we breathe, drink, and eat, even as carnivores, there's many things in the air that cause inflammation. And I think this is back to lean meat, because the fermentation of protein in plants, lean meat, causes the microbes to crawl up the esophagus into the upper and then lower respiratory system and cause inflammation, which causes asthma, anaphylaxis, further abscesses, infections, and chronic and acute diseases, which kill all of us.
All right. Next.
What was that on George? What was that on George?
You didn't have a question. Oh, George
Well,
said.
well, it's a statement, George.
Yeah, it's a statement. Hey, George, I'm happy to share my positive testimony of eating raw steak. Just contact me through the Kiltz Mighty Tribe system. So you can DM people in the Kiltz Mighty Tribe. That's George Goodenough. All right. Next one. Rockmon. What does Miss Meat recommend to encourage my 3 sons, 25, 31, 35, to embrace beef and get off the beers?
Get off the beers. So that's funny. I would definitely recommend being like a good advocate for them, because obviously what they see, like their parents eat or whatever, is going to be a huge reflection of how they're going to, you know, like what they're going to do. Like if they see their mom and dad eating, you know, meat all the time and they're jacked and they look really good and they don't drink beers, you know, it might be a good thing to look up to. That would be my best recommendation.
How much alcohol? I just threw in a question. How much alcohol is good to drink?
0. 0. And when I first started my carnivore journey, it's definitely, you know, it's hard at my age to like not be in the norm of like drinking, because everyone does it. And I'm only 24. So like, that's what people do in order to like go out, have fun. But I think like when you start finding people that don't drink and stuff, it's better just for your soul to like, I don't know. Yeah. You don't need to drink in order to feel good.
The movement that marijuana heals. So, you know, the modern system, the science system is basically we don't know the cause of your disease. Here's some marijuana. Here's some alcohol. Here's some heroin, cocaine to heal your problems, and it's not your fault.
Yeah.
That seems to be the message out there.
Yeah. Which is crazy. They just make everyone sick and unhealthy.
Sullymart, are there preferred cuts of fat like ribeye versus chuck?
I think it's what people enjoy the best. I know bone marrow. I don't know if any of you guys like bone marrow. Bone marrow is so good. And that's like the best source of fat, in my opinion. But the fat off a ribeye is great. Same with the chuck steak. That's like a cheaper version of a ribeye.
Mm-hmm.
How does visceral fat cause disease? You think it does? Or maybe it doesn't, but we're brainwashed. How does something your body makes harm you?
That's a good question.
You get fat everywhere because you eat an animal primary based diet and live like a lion, or you eat a plant based and eat mostly like a sheep.
Clearly,
Just clearly. Just keep it short and sweet. Clearly.
This is the visceral fat. It poisons the internal organs.
It's trying to protect you. It's not poisoning your organs. Look at it. You're poisoning your bowels with the plant-based diet and feeding the microbes. The fat is made in order for your survival, but the omentum and the visceral fat, all one, it's trying to protect your organ systems by surrounding your gut, which is highly inflamed. So in 2 to 4 weeks of carnivore fat and fasting, guess what? The inflammation goes away. And so again, it's once we're now fat phobic, it's only inflammation that's the cause of disease. And inflammation is caused by the microbes in the gut, the plant antigens, the microbial antigens, and the products made by the microbes, not made by your cells. Like fat and cholesterol are never the cause of your diseases. They don't cause disease, ever.
Kristina, you mentioned fasting before. Do you do any prolonged fasting?
I did experience, like, try it out for a little bit. Right now it's hard sometimes. I did a fast. I think the longest I've been was like 6 days, trying to do a 7-day one. But honestly, I think fasting's great. I know some other people think it's not the best, but I personally think it's really good to just like detox your body and just like give it a break, because, we shouldn't be eating 24/7. But I don't do it often. I only do it when I feel like I need like deep healing sometimes. And right now I just feel like the best version of myself. So if I fast, sometimes it's hard for me to get work done and things like that, because I'm either really hungry. And I think like if you're thinking about food, like you should eat, that's the way I look at it.
Nice.
Alia?
What about raw meats other than known ruminants, pork, chicken, iguana?
See, I don't eat any raw meats other than ruminant meats, like pork, chicken. I know other people do. They eat things raw. Like there's some tribes and stuff that eat those meats raw, but I don't think that's the best products to be eating raw. I think the ruminant animals are the best because they have the multi-stomachs and they're just cleaner animals, because most of the time pork and chicken are consuming like grain, soy, corn, things like that, and they're not consuming their natural diet.
And if we ask our in-house iguana expert, he does not eat raw iguana.
Yeah, our iguana expert doesn't eat raw iguana.
Joe, the two crazy ketos have a homestead farm, and they raise pork and chickens, or at least pork, but they're grazers. And so
they raise chickens also.
Right. And so my bias is we can eat pork and chicken, but the problem is highly processed soy-fed animals, but it's mostly because there's no fat on them, and you're eating the highly processed meat, which is I think the problem. It's all lean, but if you eat the fatty pork, the fatty chicken, the organ meats, that's not the problem. But the other problem is, again, it's they're highly contaminated, and their microbial growth in chicken and fish is high. They get contaminated easily. So I don't touch chicken and fish.
That's true.
Mm-hmm.
I agree with that. Do you eat a lot of organ meats?
Not a lot. I mean, I take my organ supplements, but I don't eat a lot of organ meat. I'm boring. I eat fatty meat, ribeyes, some strip steak. That's the majority of what I eat. I like oysters. That's it. I'm boring. And I do some eggs sometimes, but it's mostly, some fatty ribeye or cut like that.
Yeah, that's mostly my diet too. I'll have
DrKiltz, I had not had eggs for a while, and the other day I made some scrambled eggs. I think I have developed an allergy to eggs.
Well, it's still likely what the chicken is eating, and that's more than likely, in my opinion. But did you eat the egg shell? And you got to eat all of it, technically.
Yeah,
polar bears.
Pasture-raised eggs, no soy, no corn, but still, I don't know. I haven't tried it like a second time, but I developed generalized itching, some redness, and swelling even on my skin.
Yeah. I mean, ultimately, we didn't hunt eggs very much. It's polar bears eat eggs.
Oh, wow.
But mostly they eat ring seals, and they eat the fat. And if they don't get fat for the famine, the hibernation, or whatever it is, they're dead.
Let's see. Here's an interesting question. Why is some beef fat flavorful and some greasy?
I'm not sure why, honestly.
Well, are you talking about raw fatty meat or rendered fat?
Right.
And it could be how long it's sat around and it's rendering. I mean, ultimately, the beauty of lard and tallow is they don't oxidize very readily, and they're antimicrobial. But I would say it depends where it was cooked with and what other things were cooked in it. You know, is it in a jar, in a bucket? But yeah, they're rendered. Someone else processed them for you. The beauty of raw fat from your butcher is you take care of it yourself. And what are your snacks, Kristina? What's your do you do? I mean, I do some carnivore bars sometimes, but not most of the time. I'm not a snacker. I'm just eat my one meal a day. And I was off coffee 2.5 years, and now I'm enjoying a little bit of it.
Yeah.
But I did nothing for 2.5 years.
Yeah, that's amazing. Good for you. Yeah, I don't snack either. I was saying in the beginning, like I don't I fast usually in the morning just because I'm more productive with not eating. So I'll eat like a big meal later on in the day, if not two big meals. So I don't find I need to like snack in order to stay productive or anything. I find my body just craves the food when it does, and then I don't eat when I'm not hungry.
So would you recommend everyone experiment with the rare to raw fatty meat diet in order to, even if they feel fine, that just doing this, they might go like, woo.
You're saying they might feel fine if they're just doing regular carnivore? Or
no. If they're just doing whatever they're doing, wherever they're at, and they feel fine, but they might feel even more fantastic if they give the rare to raw fatty meat carnivore a do.
I think so. I think it's a lot easier on your digestion, and it just like, I don't know, I felt a lot better. I found more healing when I started doing raw and rare carnivore, just because like I had a lot of like histamine issues and like a lot of other issues when I was doing like really cooked meats, like slow cooked meats, things like that. And now like because I eat my meat like pretty much raw 24/7, I don't have those issues anymore.
Pretty Paw, when you fast, is it dangerous? Is a dangerous low blood sugar? I guess, is there a dangerous low blood sugar? I'm trying to start a 3-day fast wearing CGM. Blood sugar got down to 55 and felt a little strange.
Stop measuring.
Yeah, I don't measure.
Stop measuring. And mine was 45 on my 15-day fast. Felt amazing. Stop measuring. I did it just for play, entertainment. But that's a good question, Kristina. How much measuring you do? Do you weigh yourself every day, get your blood work every day, do constant monitoring every day?
No, I don't anymore. And I find when I go, like when I measure myself and stuff like that, I become like obsessive. So I don't measure or anything. I know people might say like you need to get your blood work tested and stuff like that. I just don't. I feel so good where it's like I don't need to, in a sense. I don't think some of the markers are necessarily the best to look at. So I don't get anything checked, which I don't know is necessarily a bad thing or not.
Here we go. Trying to lower triglycerides while fasting hurt or help? Sean. I asked what his diet is.
Stop measuring. Eat the fatty, rare to raw meat of Miss Meat, and you will be the master.
It shouldn't hurt, Sean. And I believe for most people, it does help.
Yeah.
But what's the triglyceride story and the cholesterol story and the LDL story? Has it helped us heal, or does it? I mean, I know when I got my numbers and CAC score, it just made me go on a crazy mission. And then I'm like, okay, do any of us know when and how we're going to die?
No.
Nope. Is our carnivore keto world a predictable message that do this measuring and we're going to be able to tell you exactly what you need to do? Do you use spirit, faith, positivity? What do you weave into your life also, Kristina?
Definitely. I'm a huge believer in God. So I pray every night and stuff like that. I think that's crucial for my healing journey and stuff. And he plays a big role in like my life. But yeah, I think having faith and just being the best version of yourself and being a good person is going to help with healing as well and help with your journey.
Hit it, Alia.
Oh, is it time? Oh, wow, it's time. Give me a second. Somebody asked Kristina if your boyfriend is also
carnivore. No, he's not, but it's a work in process.
Yeah, not yet.
Not yet.
Men, and I would say men ultimately are led by women.
Yes. I agree.
Ooh, sharing. Congratulations. Yeah, email me and we'll get you that t-shirt. Alia at DrKiltz.com. Yay. Okay, there we go.
We cry to pry the message from the master. This is the message of the emotions that we all bring to life, because without them, there's no life, there's no light, and there's no rainbow colors.
If someone wants to follow you, get in touch with you, where do we look?
Yeah, so on all my platforms, I'm either Miss Meat with an extra S or an extra T, but I'm on Instagram, YouTube, Facebook. Yeah, that's pretty much it. But yeah, thank you for having me.
Always wonderful.
So welcome.
Appreciate you. And keep sharing the story, the message, and be well. God bless.
You
God
too.
bless everyone.
Dr. Kiltz, are you going to be in Long Island April 11th?
I don't know that.
Oh.
What? I don't know.
You are. You said you were. You told Chris Brandlin you were.
All right, good. Make sure my schedule. I think it's good, but today I'm in surgery. I don't know what time I'm finishing. Do I have a carnivore conversation?
4:30. Should I reschedule it?
Well, there's 99% I'll be able to do it. 1% I can't. So leave it alone for now.
Okay.
I'll come back from New York to my office.
Okay. All right. Goodbye, everybody.
Bye.
Have a great day. 3 p.m. live stream.